The Emanuel Phillips Fox painting on Déshabillé, circa 1911, was painted by Emanuel Phillips Fox in Paris. It made its appearance in Australia in 1913, firstly at the Athenaeum Hall, and then secondly in Sydney, where it was received to rapturous acclaim. It is a painting that's been out of the market for 45 years, so it is an opportune time to reassess the later work of Emanuel Phillips Fox and also to look at more closely the artist's depiction of women. The painting, as discussed, was painted in Paris and Montparnasse in the studio that Emanuel Phillips Fox shared with his wife Ethel Carrick. They moved to Montparnasse and this group of studios and accommodation once they were married in London in 1905. It was a complex of studios that was used by English-speaking and expatriate artists, and it gave they, like Emanuel Phillips Fox, the opportunity to work in Paris amongst the Belle Epoque. It was a time of great artistic ferment. It was a time of experimentation. It was the time of Pierre Bonnard, Edouard Villard, artists that influenced Phillips Fox in his painting and in his use of composition. What do we see in the painting? Of course, Phillips Fox is here using his most noted sitter, Edith Anderson, of course, who was the wife of Philip Fox's colleague, Penley Boyd, the painter, and she became the subject for Phillips Fox of many of his paintings. In the painting itself, Phillips Fox is keen to exploit what would seem to be the pictorial devices of the day. The tight cropping of the figure in slight repose in front of a set of shutters behind which there's bright light, and of course that light is transmuted through the drapery which blows forward almost from the shutters themselves. She wears a chemise and black stockings. Her legs are crossed. Her pose is languid but relaxed. Her gaze is internal. She looks away from the viewer. She is in her own reverie, as it were. It is an interesting point to make, and a recent conjecture, that Phillips Fox may have had more sympathy than other artists of his time towards his female sitters. It was a moment of liberation for women. The role of the suffragette had come into being, and also votes for women were on the table. We cannot think that Fox wasn't oblivious to the sexual politics of the time, but he has given his sitter, Edith Anderson, a certain license to be her own woman. She is in the composition and is away from the demands of her husband, perhaps, or children, or, in some ways, the gaze of the onlooker. This is a fascinating painting for its sheer beauty, but for the points that it raises itself.